Welcome back to Cigar Time, your still very friendly show all about premium cigars.
Despite everything.
Despite
Yeah.
Welcome back, everybody.
Thanks for
Everybody
having
have
us
a good
back,
week?
Wink.
Pleasure to be here.
Wink.
Good.
Wink.
Wink Martindale.
I know who you were talking about. Where does Wink? Where does he come from?
Talking about the NFL coach?
No, Wink Martindale.
I got a
No.
rinky-dink.
There's a guy who was an NFL coach. His
Yes,
last name is
it's true.
Martin Down. Everybody calls him Wink.
Wink.
Really? Do they really?
Oh, really? I actually thought that was his name because they referred to him on TV. As
Well, no,
Wink
that's
Martindale.
not his. That's
That's the
nickname
game
he got.
show.
That's
At least
hysterical.
it's not Gruden.
This is
Yeah,
true.
yes.
That's true.
Be careful those old emails you write.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my Lord.
You're not
I
allowed
hate to think if I were an NFL coach.
Why would anybody even go back and look at that?
Because that's the culture we live in
There
right
was
now.
an
That's-
investigation into the football team, so they had to review the emails for their practice.
That's
They-
ridiculous.
Yeah, because they,
650,000
Daniel
emails.
Snyder got in all that trouble,
yeah.
and they
Except
told
he's
him,
worth $10 billion, so he doesn't care.
yeah, he doesn't care. He still owns the team, but he's not allowed to deal in the day-to-day operations, and he can't be in the facility
Unbelievable.
because of all
He
the
probably didn't deal
problems.
with the day-to-day operations anyway.
Oh yeah, he did. He was a meddler.
Yeah, he was the Jerry Jones of Washington.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
just
So
ridiculous.
because of that investigation, Gruden sent him, Snyder, a bunch of emails discussing a bunch of things, and because it came up in the NFL investigation,
Oh, God almighty. This is
But
the
almost
world we live in.
750,000 emails, and only Gruden's got leaked.
Unbelievable.
yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we better do this before Paul's hand starts shaking.
My hands are shaking. What do you mean?
He needs to light up.
They
quickly.
started shaking about 52 years ago.
All right. All right. Today we bring to you a new cigar to most of us. It's the HVC Cerro.
Shadow.
It's a boutique cigar. It is the company was founded by Rainier
Oh, yeah.
Lorenzo.
Right.
I want to make sure
You did it.
Oh, there,
he,
you said it right.
he introduced himself the other day as Lorenzo. I'm like, wait a
That's
minute,
his
I thought
last
that
name.
was your last
Spanish
name.
is the
Yeah.
flip side.
Oh, really? I didn't realize that. HVC stands for Havana City. It's a shorthand for that.
Yeah.
And this is the Cerro, which Cerro stands for hill. So it goes back to his Cuban heritage and where he grew up and where he really
We just
garnered his
He
fashion.
was here a couple weeks ago. We discussed Cuba at length.
Yeah.
I'm sure he did, yeah.
Yeah, we had a good
He
time.
loved talking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's coming out with a cigar for Green Bay, I think.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
He lived in Green Bay.
It's really nicely packaged.
Ah!
I think the company's name is Acme, isn't it?
Yeah.
Good.
Anyway, so this cigar is going to be fuller bodied. It has a Mexican or a San Andreas wrapper.
St. Andrews.
It also comes in natural, and it has Nicaraguan filler and binder. Gentlemen, you may smoke.
Gentlemen, start your engine.
Oh, nice.
And I believe that a significant part, if not all, of the tobacco in this cigar is sourced from Aganorsa.
I believe, I'm pretty sure you're right.
And for those of you that don't know, Aganorsa is one of the titans of the cigar, the tobacco growing and leaf processing industries.
I don't know if they make this cigar or not. I anymore, because there's so many companies that grow, that make.
No,
I
he
can't-
told me. He told me it was Aganorsa.
That makes it too? Okay.
I believe so, yeah.
I like Aganorsa stuff.
Really nice guy.
Lately, the stuff they made about 5 to 10 years ago was not very
No,
good.
10 years
Not
ago it was
true.
terrible.
Yeah.
Casa Fernandez, I love that cigar.
But they have
And
the
Louisiana.
largest stash of tobacco under roof
Yeah.
in all of Nicaragua,
Correct.
going back many years. And what I find
And Leva
interesting,
gets offended by that. It's true.
I'm
I've
sure
heard
they
from-
do.
Yeah.
but what most people don't know about Aganorsa is it was started by the guy who owned the equivalent of Pizza Hut in Spain. And he took his hundreds of millions out of that and moved to Nicaragua to grow tobacco.
I appreciate him doing that.
We moved from
So
Spain
good.
to Nicaragua.
And went
There's a
from
big
he
change.
went from
Yeah, I was going to say, that's a
he
huge
went from
thing.
pizza to tobacco. Interesting.
Cool.
Two of the best things in the world.
That's true.
But also have a lot in common. They both come out of the ground.
What?
A lot of people would tell you that some people's pizza tastes like dirt.
I don't know where
I
you're
forget
eating your.
that.
I don't know where you're eating your pizza.
I know. I know, forget that. Forget it. That wasn't very good.
Where we were getting your pizza from.
So anyway, back to cigars. We are bringing this cigar in to several stores. It's going to be in Colmar, Oxford Valley, Freehold, Downingtown, Richboro, in Florida, for those of you who are watching in Florida, and Doylestown. So we're starting to experiment with a couple of smaller batch or boutique cigars in those same stores, and well, this
If
is
it
the
goes
first
well,
one.
we'll bring it into other stores.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
Yeah, and this, I've had this cigar many times, and it's fantastic.
I think, did he
I
have
would
this at
give
the
it
show? Is this one of the ones he gave us at the show? We
I don't know.
smoked so many cigars, I forget.
We smoked so many, I still haven't smoked all of them.
Me neither. I still have a whole bag full of them.
Yeah, I have a whole.
If you need any help with that, Rob, let me know.
Yeah.
It looks like around 5.5 by 60.
This is it's
Probably a 58.
it's not quite 60, I don't think. But
I think it's a
It's
58.
close.
No,
it's
this-
well,
very.
it's
It could be
pretty close to it.
58.
this is a size I'm pretty sure this is a size that we did not order. It's just I had these.
Yeah.
so-
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not a 60. It's got to be a 50.
It's a 58.
It's,
Yeah.
it's up there.
I think it looks bigger because it's shorter.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh wait a minute.
What-
You're saying shorter people look bigger because they're-
Yeah.
Careful
Yeah,
what you
that's-
say, Rob.
Hey, I'd
I'm
be
not
my
touching
ideal
any of
weight
that.
if I was 6'9".
Exactly.
Right.
I'd be 8 feet.
He's waiting to grow his basketball body.
That's
Oh,
right.
there you go. It's a long way.
Put 'em
One
on the
of, one
rack.
of the things I find very encouraging about this cigar is that despite the fact that it's a Mexican San Andres Maduro, it's not pitch black.
Right. Exactly.
And
yeah.
what that says to me is it's not cooked, it's not treated, it's
No,
not
no,
messed
no.
with. It's a true Maduro.
And I've had
Wow.
I've had actually almost everything, including the limited stuff that they make. And I fell in love with it a couple years ago, and we decided to bring it in. I haven't been to every cigar store in the area, but I don't know that anybody else that carries these.
No.
So
It's
Any
the women
H-
that makes
any
the
HVC?
hotcakes, right?
yes,
Any HVC at all?
I don't. Well,
Wow.
probably hotcakes because they just became so popular. But yes, they also make the hotcakes. They make the Series A, La Rosa. They come out with. They came out with a 10th anniversary. All of them were gone in a day.
Wow.
And it was like 6 or 7 boxes.
Wow.
Yeah. Fortunately, we can get more, but not many.
Yeah.
And they're mostly known for stronger, fuller flavored cigars. They have one cigar that would be considered milder, which is actually one of my favorite from them. That's the Series A, which is phenomenal. But they're mostly known for, I think, Nicaraguan and fuller bodied cigars. But they have offerings for everybody.
Overall, it seems like they're edging into Tatuaje and Illusion territory.
Yeah.
Very short runs that are super hot,
Well-
and then they move on, but they keep a few core brands.
Oh no, they have quite a few core. They have about 7 or 8 core brands, but they
Wow.
come out with La Rosa. There's the 500 series, the Anniversary, a Broadleaf, and a Coseca. But they still have, again, like 7 or 8 core brands that do very, very well.
Do they do Las Calaveras? Well,
No.
the yellow. So you got
No,
the yellow
that's
band?
Crown Heads.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Never
there's
mind.
another one also, San Isidro, that didn't do well for us, but
Saying what?
San Isidro, I think it was.
Isidro. Put the
Isidro.
accent in the wrong place.
Look at him.
Isidro.
The mountains out there, Palm Springs.
He's
Can we
upset.
discuss for a moment? Because you touched on something with the, painted, not painted, blah, blah, blah. Why don't you take a minute or two and discuss what makes a
What's-
wrapper Maduro?
That's really good. And first, let's start by saying that it's not necessarily stronger tobacco, which
Right.
people still tend to assume because it's dark.
I
Yeah.
always assume it's sweet.
Well, that's because you
A
know.
real Maduro. Yeah.
So the word Maduro actually means ripe in Spanish. And the whole point of Maduro actually has nothing to do with the color of the leaf. They leave it on the plant longer. So it gets riper. That means it does more photosynthesis. It produces more sugars and starches. So when they go to do the fermentation, there's much more for the fermentation to eat, and that means it produces more flavor.
So this is not Atkins friendly, is what you're saying?
No, I don't think there's a lot of carbohydrates left in it.
But it's
afterwards,
starch.
especially when you're
starch.
smoking it.
Yeah.
We actually got a
If you
couple,
ate it,
we
maybe.
got some new customers through that. We posted once on social media, like cigars are still carb free.
Carb
People are
free.
like, really? They are? Like, oh my god, are you kidding me?
Even those sweet tip cigars,
It was
They're gluten free. We should tell them that.
gluten free too. Yeah,
Marty's
that's
son,
true.
actually.
So, in an effort during the
see.
first cigar boom, and I say the first because I think we're well into a second cigar boom right now. But in the first cigar boom, in an effort to get more Maduros into more hands quicker, people started looking at all sorts of different ways to reproduce the Maduro idea. But the result of that is people started to think about Maduro as a color. And anything that a company could do that would make their cigars darker, so they could call it a Maduro and maybe even charge a little more, a lot of companies were doing all of it. That included things like cooking it, which literally involves putting the leaf in a giant pressure cooker and cooking it, and that makes it darker. The other things they would do is actually add colorants or dyes to the bethune when they're fermenting, which would also make it darker. And of course, there is the worst thing of all,
You know,
Which-
it's going.
which we here like to call crema magica. But basically, it is petroleum spread on the surface of the cigar, and then if
Petroleum
it's
jelly.
petroleum, well, yeah, not raw oil.
Well,
sorry.
you-
And then it's heated, and what happens is it forms a black, shiny crust on the surface of the whole cigar, which looks fantastic, but you're smoking Vaseline.
Yeah,
So
but-
it's not a good thing.
That Santa Rosa was fantastic. That was a great cigar.
Yeah, but it was like one of those joke things out of the back of the comic books.
Yeah.
It turns your mouth black.
Yeah, absolutely. But it was very tasty.
There are a couple cigars which will remain nameless. When I light them, have that petroleum.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
There are a
I'm
few.
fairly positive those are the ones, and our barcodes will not stick to those cigars.
Yeah. Was there
Will
also
not.
a process that involved loosely tea bags?
Yes, not so much to make a
Yeah,
Maduro,
Maduro,
but
right,
to
right.
color the cigars.
Machine, yeah.
They would basically
And the
pump very strong tea over the leaf and let it sit, and it would take on that reddish sort of almost salmon
Yeah,
color.
Rosado.
Yeah, sort of.
Sort of.
So if you're going to if you're going to try a Maduro for the first time, what you want to do is know that it's going to have a hint of sweetness. The flavors will be concentrated, but it won't be stronger, like in your face strong. And the last part of that little story is Oscuro is a color. So when you see a really black cigar, that's an Oscuro. It may or may not be a true Maduro.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
I got a huge, just through the retro hail, I got a huge hit of coffee flavor.
Yeah, I'm between. I don't know if it's coffee or cocoa for me, but
No,
because I think they're similar.
I'm
For-
leaning more towards the cocoa side.
Cocoa,
I got
cocoa,
coffee. I
yeah.
felt like I was in a
agree.
coffee
Cocoa.
house.
But there's definitely a sweetness to this.
Yes,
I mean,
absolutely.
As soon
Yep.
as you lit it,
Yeah.
and there's
Yeah, it's
another.
a true Maduro. This is
Yeah.
a true Maduro.
This has also got some nicotine in it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
a potent
Yeah,
cigar.
but at the same time, I
It's
also
smooth.
find it creamy.
Yeah.
Yes,
It coats,
absolutely.
it's actually coating my entire palate,
Yeah,
which reminds me of
absolutely.
like heavy cream kind of thing.
What do these retail for?
Uh,
You knew I was going to ask.
This is probably this one here is probably
Oh,
$9, like
Robert.
$9, and I think that the Robusto's probably $7,
Okay.
and Toro's
Well,
It's in
$8.
great
that range.
price.
It's in the
Great
sweet
prices
spot,
for
yeah.
a boutique cigar.
Yeah, it's a good price.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, it is.
Moose, what do you think?
You should like this cigar.
Yes, I do actually.
Okay.
Very
Seems
much.
right up your alley.
I getting more of an espresso than coffee or cocoa.
Yeah.
A little bit of pepperiness, but not a lot. But it's really smooth.
Yeah, it is.
I-
And is burning very well.
Beautifully. You know, this is a very tightly packed cigar.
And it burns slow.
But it burns slow, but it also draws perfectly despite how tightly packed it
It
is.
is packed.
Moose, are you retrohaling?
Not at the moment, no.
Okay.
How about
Check.
now?
If you take a puff and let the finish run all the way out, you get anise. It's really cool, but
do
you
you
have to wait until the end of the finish.
Really? I just bought some anise seeds.
Ugh.
I bought like 13 different spices. I'm
Oh, you're
telling
gonna
you,
do the whole spice thing.
I'm doing it. I went to actually went to a spice shop over in Lahaska. It was more like fish rub and beef and all kinds of mixtures. I was just looking for
That's a popular thing
spice.
these days.
what also what I was looking for, and I don't know if it exists, is almost like you remember when I remember growing up going to Tinderbox with my dad, and I would they'd had all the jars of the tobacco. Well, we have it here. And I just remember smelling it, and that's kind of what I was hoping for, is just getting like a little sampling of each spice.
Did you stop in our store in Peddler's Village?
No,
You were in Lahaska.
I didn't want to get bitched at.
Well, God knows that would have happened.
No, I was having a nice. It was rainy too, so I wasn't staying outside too long. But
Yeah, Peddler's in the rain is about the same.
Yeah.
it was packed. Holy
Really? Even in the rain?
man, there was people everywhere, everywhere.
Well, they decided to go and they weren't going to
Well,
let the
it's
rain stop them.
Wait till they put the Christmas decorations
Oh.
up.
well, it's a Scarecrow Festival now.
Right now.
Right.
Oh yeah, it's
Wait
right. It
till-
was. It was
wait
pretty
till-
neat
Wait till
too.
they put the Christmas stuff up. My God, every day it's packed.
You know,
Yeah.
every time I walk out of
Good.
that store, that damn scarecrow scares the crap out of me because I think it's a person hiding
yeah.
right next to the door. Every time.
Virgil's wife made
If
that
it's- if it mentions your
Scarecrow.
name,
Then I'm in, yes, as fast as I can.
I did that once. I put on we had a scarecrow at Halloween in front of the house. It was all stuffed with newspaper and everything. I got home about 10 minutes before Sandy. I'm like, all right. I took all the newspaper, took everything out, and I put it on and stood there. And then when she walked up, just neighbors came out. She heard her scream.
Well, it's kind of. It looks like we've got a humidor, a jug of distilled water, and a whole bunch of other.
Yeah, Rob wanted to talk about the
No, I
humidors and
No, I didn't. That was you, dude.
seasoning humidors.
That was you.
Oh, that's right. You don't know how to do it.
Yes, I do.
Well, then why don't you explain it?
Well, you do it. It's your idea.
It's a change of season, so
There'll be a test.
Why don't you boys get a room?
Hey.
So there are 2 times a year, and we recommend that you re-season your humidors. And for those of you who haven't done it or if you purchase a humidor through us, you should have been shown how to season a humidor.
Yeah, we do.
But what we recommend, obviously take everything out, but we have got a bottle of distilled water. You can get this from any grocery store for like $1.19. You take a rag, something, or a paper towel or something that has never been used before.
Yeah, clean.
It has to be clean.
Yeah.
Paper towel tends to shred when you rub it against the wood.
Against wood,
It
yeah.
does, but but
I used to use old undershirts.
whatever something
Gotta wear
you don't
it.
want anything that's been washed because any of the soap can get into
Into the pores.
It can
Never a
distaste the cigars. But what you want to do is you take that and you want to rub all of the wood that's in here, the inside, the top of the lid. If you've got trays, dividers, what you're doing is the Spanish cedar that lines the humidors is very absorbent. So if you don't do that, whatever you use to humidify the cigars, the wood will actually soak all of that up, and in essence, you won't have much humidity for the cigars because it's going to be contained in the wood. The wood also will release some moisture and gather moisture through time. So you want to, we call that charging it. You want to rub everything down.
And you can't put enough on, so just liberally do it. But you don't
But
want it
don't
to
pour it in there.
don't pour it
No
in,
puddles.
and you
Yeah,
don't want
you
it
don't want
it to
puddling in the
puddle
bottom
either.
of the-
So, but you can, as much as you put in, it'll
Breed
absorb.
mosquitoes.
Exactly. So you want to. So we do that twice a year. It helps maintain the humidity, because what happens when you change it, if you have certain kind of heat, air conditioning also, that sucks a lot of the humidity out of the air, and a lot of times people come in this time of year and they want to know, like, why is my humidity dropping?
Right.
I mean, And in the summer, you practically don't need anything
No.
in your humidor. In fact, I actually opened one of my cabinet humidors to fill up the Oasis, and it read, I don't know, 61%. I opened the doors, the humidity shot up.
Yeah.
Literally, I was like, you gotta be. So, but now with the change in seasons, the change from air conditioning or nothing to heat, dry heat will suck the humidity out of your humidor.
Yeah, you don't
and out
want
of the house.
to, you don't want to put the box in direct airflow
Or sunlight.
Correct.
Because that'll change the humidity inside the box, even if you're up to date on it and everything.
Exactly.
So once you wipe it, or you're going here anyway, but once you wipe it down,
Once
then
you
what?
wipe it down, then you use the. I mean, you want to close it and leave it. They say overnight, but I mean, leave it till it looks like it's dry. So
Can I
it's
tell you
not
what I
standing
used to
water.
do? And I think our instructions that we used to give out with humidors back in the day.
The instructions you used to give, that's the way I tell everybody to do
Yeah.
it.
A shot glass of water.
I say take a shot glass
Yeah.
and fill it up with distilled water.
You can do that.
Put it in the box overnight.
Yeah, you
And
can
that
do that,
helps.
or the all of these humidors come with the humidifier.
That no one uses anymore.
Yeah, exactly. But you can just fill this or the shot glass of water. And as Rob alluded to, people don't like we don't sell these separately. I don't think anywhere.
not
I mean, we may
anymore.
have a couple laying around.
Not
because
anymore.
What most people have done is they switched to the Boveda packs, and I just picked one. We sell them in 69, 72, and 75%. And so people have really switched to this. A lot of people use it in conjunction with their humidifier that they have, but these things work great, and you can tell that it's time to change it when it starts to get kind of a little
When it's hard.
Hard.
or it starts to get. Right now it's just real fluid, but it'll start to get a little crunchy. So then it's time, and depending on how, like this humidor here, you probably only need one, maybe two.
One. Yeah, probably one.
One of the great things about the packs, aside from how idiot-proof they are,
Yeah.
just take off the cellophane and throw it in the
It'd
box.
be amazing how many people you have to tell, take off the cellophane.
And don't rip open the paper.
No.
Right.
Right.
But, I lost that train of thought.
Okay, good.
I tell you, I got a big box at home, 200 count humidor. I have a juice glass in there, and I just fill it up with distilled water, and when it gets halfway down, I put more water in it.
My only
stays
problem
perfect.
with that approach is if I'm going to put distilled something in a glass, it's not going to be water and it's not going in the humidor.
And that's
right.
why I have distilled water that you get from the grocery store, not the liquor store.
Okay.
And I know what happens if you run out of water. You put Jack Daniels in a glass, right?
Yes, I
Or does
have.
that not make it to the humidor?
That doesn't make it to the
I
humidor.
figured
Yeah.
But he does put it in the glass.
It does go in a glass, but not that one.
This time of the year is also a good time to recalibrate. If you have an analog hydrometer, which is the one that has the dial on it. Oh man, there's all kind of.
You ruined it.
So it has one of these.
That's why we don't recommend those anymore.
Oh my god! Well, yeah,
We use all digital hygrometers.
exactly. But when you buy the humidor, it comes with. I don't know why they don't come with
Digital ones.
digital, but they come with an
But they
analog
cost more
hydrometer.
money.
Yeah. So if you do use this and it doesn't fall apart when you open it up, now's a good time of the year to recalibrate it.
Or throw it out and get a hygrometer that's
Well-
digital.
That's what we would recommend. So to calibrate it, it sounds complicated, but if
It's
you
very
put
easy.
a cap, like a bottle cap like this, fill it with salt and then drip some water in it so it's kind of like moist sand. You don't want a solution, you want like moist sand. Put that and the hydrometer into a Ziploc bag and that will create a perfect 75% environment. So you can if your hydrometer doesn't go to 75%, there's a little adjustment on the back where you can do it through the bag or just take it out real fast and put it to 75, and that's how you calibrate. But as Art was alluding to, we recommend
The digital
the
one.
digital ones.
They're far more accurate.
Much more accurate.
Much more accurate.
You just get a battery.
Yeah.
Put it in
Yeah, they last a
and-
long time.
And they're not that. They're only like $25, and
Yeah.
I
Right.
don't know, man, if you buy a humidor, we give you a discount on the thing because you have to buy one. But anyway, we do get a lot of questions this time of the year. My humidity isn't what it used to be, and so this is how you help fix that.
You also want to keep your humidor far away from a heat source.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, not so much that it'll bake the cigars, it'll just dry them out, take the oils out of it. And the oils are what give the cigar the taste.
Right.
Oh, tell them about the, like you just closed
seal
this,
test?
the seal test.
Oh, why don't you do it?
You want to hear, that's what you want to hear. You don't want to hear wood hitting wood.
Yeah. That's
If you have wood hitting wood, you got yourself a nice jewelry box.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because it's worthless, and that's something you can't fix.
The other way to test it,
It's the dollar test.
the dollar trick. When the lid's open, you put $1 on the lip, you close it, and try to pull the dollar out. Should be just a little bit of resistance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you get a little bit of resistance, your seal's still good.
Yeah. And you want a humidor that has a heavy lid so it stays closed.
Right.
By itself,
But not
yeah.
so heavy that when it opens, it flips the whole thing over.
Yeah, this company in the
Talk from
early
experience.
90s started out as a humidor manufacturing company in Vineland, New Jersey. So back then we sold lots and lots of humidors, and over the years, we've learned a lot about humidors and how to take care of them. So the advice we're giving you is based on a lot of experience and know-how, and it's good advice.
Yeah.
I really like this cigar.
Yeah, I'm getting the cocoa now.
Yeah.
Just not through the retrohale though, just in mouthfeel, the cocoa. But through the retrohale, I get the coffee flavor.
Have that sweetness.
Yeah.
Are we going to rate this cigar?
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead, Roscoe.
That sounds good. I think we should probably...
9.25.
How much?
9.25.
Okay. Rob?
I can't agree with them. I'll have to go 9.5. I really like this cigar.
No. Moose?
9.5.
Let's see. We have a little timing problem here.
Yep.
Ooh,
No, we don't.
that's interesting.
Well, we sort
There's
of...
a minute. It's a minute 21, 20.
we're good.
Okay. All right.
I wouldn't.
There
There
you
we
go.
go.
I feel so much better.
Paul?
Well, I like this cigar a lot, but I can't quite give it a 9 plus, so
Why?
I'm just going to give it a 9.
Okay.
It's I like it. I actually like it a lot. It just doesn't cross the line into wonderful.
I like this.
Yeah.
I usually don't like cigars like this that much. I give it a 9 3/8. Just the middle. Well, that's
Good idea.
9.375. Just want to remind everybody, visit our sister company, cigarsamplers.com. Great deals on packs, ship all over the country. We want to thank you for your patronage. We'll thank you for watching our shows all these years. New and exciting things will be happening in the whole chain. 19 stores now in three different states, right? Yeah.
Yep, 3 states.
And remind you, stay tuned. Very important. Stay tuned for our what was
Cigar
the
Time
show?
Outlet.
Cigar Time
okay,
Outlet.
I forgot for a
It
minute
used to
what
be the
it's called.
Saturday show.
Spoke if you got it, folks.
Cigar Time Outlet show, which will follow right after this show. I think we're on our new station by now. Are we still on the?
Next week.
We're on the new
Next
station.
week, new
So
station.
until next week, bye bye for now.
Ciao.